Agriculture, like most industries, is constantly changing and upgrading. This month's Cumberland Beef Day in White County found a meeting of regional cattlemen discussing old, new, and recognized best practices for keeping the beef business at the top of its game.
We're at Cumberland Beef Day today, and we have an educational program where we're presenting information regarding reproduction and management. Also a little bit on marketing. It's always a good session for producers to come out, learn a little bit more about beef cattle production and marketing and those things that will actually put a few more dollars in their pocket.
It was an honor for us to come to the conference down here today at Sparta, and appreciate the opportunity by Scott to invite us to come down from Berrien County here in Kentucky. We've got I'm the county agent there and worked with a group of farmers that are doing a unique thing about marketing by commingling their small herds together to make one large group of calves they're able to market each year. These animals have been going, or this program's been going on for about 13 years now, and they've really developed a good rapport with buyers because they've produced cattle that are getting better each generation from the standpoint of good genetics, but also predictability and uniformity, and able to sell those animals in load lot sizes that are extremely close in size and age, and that really is an influential thing in the marketing process. So we're able to share this with our Tennessee friends here today, to be able to let them have an opportunity maybe to work with some of their friends and neighbors to do a very similar project. And the bottom line is, with improved uniformity and improved load lot sizes, they're able to capture more of a market share than selling just a small group of calves on an annual basis.
Our group's been in existence we're going on 13 years. Originally there were 6 members of that. We add members, it seems like, about each year, and very few actually get out of the program once that they're into it. Typically by retirement or some means like that they actually get out of the program. Almost each individual in the group has different responsibilities. One fellow would be responsible for the marketing. He'll try to obtain a consensus from the other group members prior to selling, but he has to be the one that has the final say in marketing. We have people that are involved in actually coming up with our ration, our nutrition program. And they put together a ration, get bids, and obtain the pricing on the ration that we use in feeding our calves. We have one fellow that has really excelled in doing a lot of work in the genetic area. He also is an AI technician. In fact, there are a couple AI technicians within our group. But we rely on him a whole lot for his expertise in genetics and the improvement of our overall cattle herd. We have another fellow that has actually zeroed in on the health program. And in fact, he is zeroed in so much that he was invited to a conference that was for veterinarians only, and he was the only one that was not a veterinarian that attended that conference. So our levels of expertise have really developed a lot through the years. We all try to discuss those items and try to reach group consensus for the most part. But the primary responsibility is for those people to get out and do the investigation and return that information back to the group for a consensus, for an agreement on what our decision making is about.
Well, when we started the process in '97, we were looking for producers that were real innovative in their thinking, some folks that are willing to accept some changes in their operation and try to look at the bottom line and be able to improve things. Most of the producers that started out the project actually had different directions that they were going in with a small number of cows. I think the average herd at that time was probably about 30 or 40 cows is what they had at the point. And we're really having a hard time of seeking a full market value. They were selling cattle rather than marketing cattle. So by doing it this way, they're able to commingle calves that are now becoming more alike each generation year after year. And the predictability has gotten to a point that you have repeat customer opportunities, and that's something that is a positive thing and allowed our producers to, bottom line, increase their net profitability.
I guess 13 years ago, when you look at marketing, basically the only method that was available was for a small producer to get calves up, load them on a trailer, take them down to the local livestock market. Basically, when you unload those calves, you get whatever the market dictates. We wanted to have more input into the pricing of our cattle. So we investigated and learned that through grouping those cattle into truckload lots, and the more uniform they were, the better the pricing. So we took a look at things like that to try to determine what would be our goals and objectives and getting those better prices. Well, with any group of people, there are always different ideas and so on. What we do is we have meetings on a regular basis, usually at one of our local steakhouses, which kind of helps take the edge off things. But after we have a steak dinner, we get together and we have items on our agenda that we want to discuss. And everybody has an equal voice in discussing those items. And if it has to, we try to come up with a consensus. But if we can't always be a consensus group, we will bring those things up to vote and try to decide on the best of a couple of alternatives that we're looking at.
You know, one of the things that we've noticed with this project is the fact that many other folks are looking at it. One of the cooperators that's in the program makes a presentation today as well. But the thing is that every year there are groups that come through of extension agents and producers from across the United States to visit with them, hearing about this project and seeing how they can make it work with some of their producers as well. So we're hearing more and more groups start up like this, and you know, they're getting an opportunity to see this thing in the works and some of the trials and things that they've had to change to make it better. And there's no use of starting out without having some of this out of the way, so they're able to pick up on the experiences from these farmers and are able to jump right in and make this project work for their own. Hopefully down here today there'll be some of the producers that'll pick up the idea and go talk to friends and neighbors and put it into action as well. You know, there's no barrier necessarily, but a group fairly close together, 2 or 3 counties or 1 county or whatever, to make this work. But as long as they are cooperating and do management the same, get their genetics the same, get their calving seasons the same, their health programs the same. These are just some of the major parts that you go through and allow this program to really be something very positive to help a producer make more money in the cattle business. It's a value-added term we use in Kentucky, value-added, and this is a value-added project.
Well, as far as the future, it's really hard to determine what's going to be. I think that there is a definite opportunity for this kind of marketing, especially for small producers like in the Kentucky, Tennessee area that only have maybe 20, 30 calves that they sell each year. There is a big opportunity there to get together, to work together, to add value, and to market those truckload lots. And as you know, the futures market is all traded on truckload lots. Cattle are shipped in truckload lots. When they go to slaughter, they go to slaughter in truckload lots. So the real key there is to have uniformity and to have truckload lots. And I think as more and more people realize that and see that, there will be more and more people that will be interested in a commingling process like we do.
Well, I think as we look over the last 5 years that our producers have really had to take a lot closer look at the way they've been doing things, not only from a breeding standpoint and nutrition standpoint and marketing, because it's just like everybody, whether it be a homeowner or whatever, those dollars have been just a little bit tighter, a little harder to come by. So it's not business as usual. They've had to go back and look and say, this is what I've always done. Is that what I need to be doing in the future?